Hello, everyone. What is going on? My name is Timpedia. Welcome back to the TNT Podcast, episode 197. We're almost there. We've said that for a year now.
Almost there.
Almost there. Halfway there. Halfway there. And we are here to do a couple quick news stories because we didn't actually do all that much since last time, it seems like.
Wait.
But
I thought I added this and I can't read. I was like, oh, Tyler's adding a magic thing. And I was like, oh, wait.
Nope. It's already there.
You'd be one step ahead of us.
I thought so.
Wait, who did that thing? Who did that?
Oh, man, fuck intros. Everybody knows who we are right now. I'm Tyler. I'm just Tyler. You're Tim. Across from you is Freeman. Like, other knows Andrew. Whatever. Let's just talk about magic so I can take a nap.
Yay.
All right, cool.
Okay, so...
All right.
MagicCon Chicago was this past weekend. And leading up to it, we got a whole bunch of news. Was the bracket stuff last time? Yes, it was.
We talked about brackets last time, yeah.
Okay. Since the last time, when we actually had Magic Talk, we had some more. This is the year where Magic is starting to put Universes Beyond sets into Standard.
For those of you who don't play Magic, this is the year we turn into Fortnite.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, he's not wrong.
It's the crossover set year.
So in previous years, we had things like the Commander sets for Fallout and Warhammer that sold really well. And then we had Lord of the Rings, which was like the best-selling set of all time. And those were all not standard legal. Standard is like the format that is most played and the reason MTG Arena exists. Outside of Commander, it's probably the most popular competitive format that rotates now every 3 years. But previously, it was like the holdout. No special products. Commander decks don't go in here. Nothing goes in here except sets in Standard. Now, there will be 6 sets this year that go into Standard instead of the previous 4 that have been for the life of the game. And 3 of them this year will be Universes Beyond sets. And we got news about 2 of them at MagicCon Vegas. We also got previews for the next in-universe set, Dragonstorm, Tarkir Dragonstorm. That looks hype as hell. But
I'm actually really excited for that one.
Yes. Maybe I'll buy a box because I like this buy a box thing that I've been doing.
I like dragons.
Dragons are good. And Aether Drift was pretty disappointing, especially from someone who likes Kaladesh or Avishkar a lot. Anyway, Final Fantasy is the first ever Universes Beyond set that will be printed into Standard. Along with that will be 4 Commander decks. Now, at the event at MagicCon Vegas, we got some cards from the main set that will be in Standard. But before the event, we got the 4 face commanders and found out about what the commander decks are. I'm not going to go through the cards, but it is Titus, it is Cloud, it is Terra, and who's...
Is it Sephiroth, the fourth one?
No. Sephiroth and Cloud have a product together that is separate from commander decks. That is the starter product.
It's like the beginner dual deck, like learn to play.
And also, Sephiroth will definitely have at least one card in the actual set, but they didn't preview it because it's not the next set. They literally skipped past Tarkir and then came back and were like, oh shit, maybe we should show off some Tarkir stuff. But what's the fourth? It starts with a Y. It's like Y'shtola or something from Final Fantasy 14.
There's a random apostrophe in the middle.
I think it's like Y'shtola or something from Final Fantasy 14. All 4.
Oh yeah, the one that I didn't know.
Yes, all 4 commander decks are. I think this is a really cool idea. Are based on a Final Fantasy game, which I think is actually super smart. Instead of trying to do a theme like they normally do, just go here is you wanna. Hello, millennials. Would you like to relive
Final Fantasy X? You're gonna love this.
What is your favorite Final Fantasy game from the Big 4? Here you go. Go buy this overpriced commander deck because apparently all the prices for this set are higher than normal, which is freaking people out. But
how much are we talking?
Normal commander decks are $40. Premium commander decks, like for Modern Horizons 3, were typically MSRPing at like $60. I think these Final Fantasy ones all pre-sold on Amazon for $60 or $70.
The premiums are going for like 140 plus.
So let me rephrase, because that's a good point. They have started a thing in the last 2 years where there are commander decks that are the basic version of the commander deck, and then there is a premium commander deck, which is full of alternate arts and fancier versions of the same cards, but there's no opening packs. It's just a fancier version of the deck out of the box.
You get a known list of shiny, pretty cards.
Yes, and those are like double price, and those are like $140 each. Whereas in the past, you could buy an entire set of commander decks for like $140.
Yeah, I'm just going to go out and say this here. So anyone who's been following news on the internet saw what happened with the last Pokemon set release, and it's happening again just with Magic.
The first batch of all of this stuff sold out within like a day or two on Amazon.
Which is hilarious because it's not even actually really available for pre-sale. This is
it's
people who are going to scalp it, pre-selling it for post-scalp prices.
It's insanity.
Christ.
It's so wild.
I'm really glad I don't fucking play this shit no more.
But here's the thing, Tyler. You say that. That's funny. You say that. Friedman, I don't think I've seen some content creators say this. I don't think it's crazy to say that this could be the set that knocked Lord of the Rings off the pedestal.
I think it will. So there's how do I put this?
And they know it too.
I'm not going to imply that Final Fantasy is bigger than Lord of the Rings, but I feel like Final Fantasy is going to pull more spenders than Lord of the Rings pulls spenders.
Yep.
Especially because there's you like Lord of the Rings, you don't like Lord of the Rings, and then everyone has different opinions about Final Fantasy, and unlike the Commander decks where it's just the 4 main ones, the main set is going to have cards from all over.
Everything.
We've already seen ones from Forespelled. There's an enchantment that references Noctis going fishing and then going camping as an enchantment.
That card's pretty good.
It's not a bad card. I might actually include it in Daxos. But there's going to be references to every Final Fantasy game ever made. So as long as someone is even remotely interested in a game from their childhood, a game from their present, and all these games are still like super readily available. They're all on Steam now. They regularly go on sale. Like this is
also a case where Lord of the Rings, for all of the stuff that is in Lord of the Rings, it's fair to say we got 4 versions of some characters in Lord of the Rings. Like they just went crazy with here's Gandalf as this and Gandalf as this and Saruman as this and this. And it's
whereas they're gonna have 190 legendary creatures or something, and it's I could reasonably see them all being individual characters from the franchise.
Could see Cloud has the head of a commander deck, the starter product, and 1 card in the main set, and there's his Buster Sword. But Cloud won't have 4 versions in the set. There's just not enough room.
No. He's getting 3.
Across separate products. I'm saying in the 300-ish cards of the main set, there will be 1 Cloud guy.
Cloud guy.
Whereas in Lord of the Rings, there was literally an Aragorn at every color combination from 1 to 4.
Yeah. I don't know. The economist in me thinks it's going to be bigger than Lord of the Rings purely because how many years ago was Lord of the Rings?
2.
It's only been 2 years since Lord of the Rings came out?
I had this job when Lord of the Rings came out.
Well, all right, well, then maybe this isn't as massive. I was just saying Magic's been growing year over year, so now the addressable player base is even larger. But
there's also, Lord of the Rings is a franchise that is popular, but it doesn't have, okay, let's be honest. People tie Lord of the Rings to what? The movies. Did the characters look like the characters in the movies? No.
No. That was a big sticking point for a lot of people.
Does Friedman... Does every single version of Cloud that we've seen so far look exactly like Cloud from the remake of 7? Bet your fucking ass it does.
The only card that didn't look accurate to the game was the Cecil cards from 4, but they still look badass. I'm all right, they have creative liberty. I'm fine with this.
Yeah. The the games that had an entire polygon.
Hey man, there was a 3D remake of 4. But yeah, you're right.
No, and they have, what's his name? Awano? Or whoever the super famous Final Fantasy artist is, who did that Liliana that sold for $1 million?
Are you talking about the Cecil Dark Knight?
Yeah.
Oh, Cecil.
I'm lost, bro.
What do you mean?
Sorry, there's 2 arts. There's the special full
there's
frame
2.
one that isn't. It doesn't look like his armor from the version I played.
I think that, I see, where he's
Tim,
sweeping with his sword.
Amano, thank you. Super famous Final Fantasy artist is coming back.
This full art one where he just straight looks like Black Panther instead of the.
Oh, that is.
It's not wrong though. They got the horns right on it, but like.
Yeah.
Actually, never mind. Maybe it is. Maybe this is correct.
Look, all I want to say about it, and then we can move on. Magic has been ridiculed a lot lately for having meme sets. We had Murders at Karlov Manor, Detective Mode last year. We had Outlaws of Thunder Junction, cowboy hats.
Then we had Pirates in Caves. Or
and
that
then
might be older.
And then Bloomborough knocked it out of the park. Duskmorn was kind of like horror retro, but it was kind of doing its own thing.
The problem was it was 80s, so it's hard to...
Well, yeah. But regardless, then what did we just have? Aether Drift. Mad Max for
Wacky
toddlers.
Racers.
Wacky Racers.
Mario Kart MTG Edition.
Which is why it's a big flop and it sucks, and I hate it really a lot that it's so disappointing. But clearly there has been a lot of attention put on these Universes Beyond sets. Like I said, Lord of the Rings would have sold good no matter what, but the fact that Lord of the Rings is a banger set, Friedman, it is a capital B banger.
I'll put it this way. I'm super duper excited for Final Fantasy, but I'm not excited for the future of Magic. And I've got two points I want to bring up here. One was I'm gonna leave this person's name anonymous. So it's someone that we play Magic with. Saw the news about Final Fantasy.
No. He just said you don't play Magic.
I don't.
You don't actually know that. You don't know who this person.
Oh, okay. It's one of you. Okay.
You might know this person. Anyway, point is they're completely disinterested in Final Fantasy. It's like, this set isn't that great. And then they said unironically in our group chat, yeah, but if they made solo leveling commander decks, I would buy all of them. And I was like, that's the thing. They just have to hit IPs that people like. It's not even about like needing to be.
Dude, it's Fortnite.
Good.
It's Fortnite.
Like I'm gonna love the Final Fantasy IP. I'm gonna be kind of whatever about Spider-Man because I like Spider-Man, but I don't really want a Magic set out of it. So it's going to be very much hit or miss with who likes what.
So you just brought in the perfect transition, Freeman, to the second half of this Magic story. So, and I'm going to steal the next headline and wrap it into this.
You can go, and then my second bullet point will be more relevant, so
yes.
Go ahead.
So, like Freeman said, we already knew before this weekend 2 of the 3 Universes Beyond sets this year. As part of a apparently 2-year-long collaboration with Marvel, we are getting a Spider-Man dedicated Marvel set later this year. Also, we're getting 6 sets because we're not doing bonus products like Modern Horizons anymore. We're just doing all standard stuff this year, which is weird. But they had never announced what the final set of this year was going to be. Well, they announced 2 days after we got an announcement of the new Avatar The Last Airbender series that is a sequel to Legend of Korra. They announced that Avatar The Last Airbender is the last set of the year. That will not sell better than Final Fantasy or Marvel.
No.
But a lot of people are going to enjoy it who are millennials on TikTok.
Because like here's the thing about Avatar. It is very much a kids show that is not marketed towards people who are currently kids.
It's marketed towards Rachel.
Yes, it's marketed.
Rachel might buy these cars.
Yeah. So the sticking point I'm getting at here is everyone is like, it's fine. There's only 3 Universes Beyond sets this year. But I need to remind everyone, because I was looking into whether I do want to try playing Arena again, because it's always just, do I want to play Standard? And I'm looking at what the rotation looks like, because now we have 3 years of sets being in Standard.
So much.
Which means, if you fast forward to 3 years from now, and we keep on track of half of Standard is crossover sets, 9 random IPs will be fighting in Standard at the same time. You're going to have Sephiroth Reanimator versus Spider-Man Aggro versus Sokka Enchantments. Like, I don't want to know what Magic looks like, what Standard specifically looks like in 3 years from now. Commander's already a clusterfuck. I hate the fact that my strongest play in my favorite deck is to play Starscream. But it is what it is.
Yeah, this sounds really fucking stupid.
It is. It's Fortnite, and I hate it. But I'm
I don't like this
card game because I love the game.
I feel bad for your aesthetic, guys. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask them. How come they're so dead set on making brand new cards? Like, why not make like does this sound stupid to say? Like, why don't they just make like skins, so to speak?
So
Tyler?
they've already done that, and they're already milking that for money. So occasionally we'll talk about a concept called a secret lair, which is their like buy to order.
Yeah.
Where
Oh,
it's
so
just like
that's
a
what
set of
secret
5.
layer is.
Yeah,
Secret
so like
lair-
all the
yeah.
Miku
Well-
cards that were coming out, those were all just alternate arts. And even they may rename them, but they always have underneath the name they're using what the actual legal name of the card is.
You know, except for the secret layers that were mechanically unique cards.
Yeah, which caused a controversy when they started, and now Wizards is like, fuck it, we print money.
We hear you.
From like I mean, I don't know. I guess I'm not in that space enough. But I feel like it just really kind of kills it. But they're not going to stop because it's printing the money. So
So
Yeah.
Tyler,
And-
if you ask one of the designers, they will say there is still so much design space they could figure out. And it's true, they do come up with cool designs every year. But
how
look
the
at
fuck do they balance all that?
Tyler. Look at Yu-Gi-Oh. You don't.
Yeah, all right, listen
but
though.
Tyler,
Like,
Tyler.
no,
this-
hold on. All right, never mind. No, go ahead then.
No, I was just gonna say.
Talk. Cool.
I just wanted to say,
Get it, bro.
power creep. Everyone complains about it, but it never kills a game. In the last, I was watching a video on the Card Market YouTube channel for Yu-Gi-Oh because they bleed into their Magic content a little bit. They had Yu-Gi-Oh had their biggest tournament ever within the last 2 months. Like ever, Yu-Gi-Oh had its biggest tournament, and they have only power crept the game since the beginning. That's all I was going to say is like it doesn't stop a game from growing, but that's what Magic does. Go ahead.
Okay. That's cool. I got nothing.
The thing about Magic is like I don't know if we've had power creep. It's definitely complexity creep. Like I'll have a card that it has 2 effects that were very normal in the game, but it wasn't normal for both those effects to be on one card at the same time. So it's like it's more efficiency creep than power. You're still doing the same things you were doing before, but it's like you just maybe only need 2 cards to do it, not 3 now. I don't know.
Well, but also, Freeman, I look at Aether Drift. We had a card that was we had a legendary that was a 3-mana 7/2, just vanilla, just to do it.
Yeah.
Like, they're printing so many cards that you look at and you're like, literally, like 5 years ago, they printed a card for this mana value that has half the text or half the stats on it.
Yeah, they definitely used to feel very conservative about the set as a whole because they didn't want anything to be too powerful. And now there's enough powerful stuff that it's like we can just print something at that power level most of the time, and no one would care. But they've done a good job of not pushing the ceiling. They've definitely lifted the
Anyway,
floor.
I would disagree.
You disagree?
The
All right,
ceiling,
we can go into
Freeman.
another
There
thing.
are so many cards that are unplayable from the past because of how strong new cards are. Like just as a base.
Yeah. We can talk metagame shifts another time. Let's keep talking
Let's
about
stay on the
Avatar
Avatar thing,
last
though.
shit. So, we got a confirmation of a brand new Avatar series. This one is odd. It takes place. It's the Avatar who's after Korra. The 4 nations straight up don't exist anymore. They hate the Avatar, and now it's. One of my friends is like, this is very unique. The Avatar is the enemy of the world, and I pause. I'm like, isn't that like how the Fire Nation saw Aang in season 1? Like the Avatar is the enemy of our government.
And at the end of Korra, they all fucking hated Korra because she like literally melded the spirit and physical realm without telling anybody. Which honestly, yeah, I'd be fucking pissed too if you ask me.
Dude, I saw a meme about this that was like the next Avatar is gonna look at Korra and be like, look for all the previous Avatars and be like, where did they all go, Korra? It's like the Drake and Josh meme.
Oh no, I'm thinking of the
Where'd they all go, Korra?
Where'd they all go,
Where
Korra?
are my balls, Summer?
Anyway,
you guys can talk about this. I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm not as into Avatar.
I really don't know. I'm not. Like the question is, who is it marketed towards? Is this a kids show, or is this marketed towards the now 30-year-olds who watched Avatar 20 years ago?
Freeman, let's be real. Those are the people who the Avatar live action show are for on Netflix.
I know,
Same
but
crowd.
this is still a Nickelodeon show. I don't know the last time Nickelodeon made a show for our demographic. Like our demographic got mad when they redid Rugrats, and surprise, surprise, it was a kids show. Like I don't know. I'm curious, but given how the last 3 seasons of Korra went, I'm not jumping head in on this one. I'm definitely gonna hear if it's good before I start this.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll see how it is. I'm mildly interested, but I also just feel like this is like a grab.
Yep. Break
You
glass.
know, it's also really funny considering how Korra ended. Like Korra was not meant to live past season 1.
And then it kept.
Like that's not even my words.
No,
Like,
no.
That's
We've
their
talked about this on
words.
here. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a zombie that came back to life and then got put down, and then a year later they would go, "Oh, we actually found funding. Time to bring it back to life again."
Dude, Korra was weird. They canceled televised broadcast halfway through the 3rd season and made it online only for no reason. And then they were like, "Why did the popularity drop?" It's like, because you removed it from television.
Yeah, man.
Do you think this show will succeed?
Absolutely not.
Really?
Oh, you don't think so?
No,
Firmly no.
I really don't think it will. Like, it's all about who it's for. And
You have
like, I don't know,
basic girls
guys,
like Rachel and Renee.
did you guys watch the live action, new live action Avatar?
Freeman,
I did.
See, I'm not even.
Like it?
Hold on, let me just say, I'm not worth asking that to because I never finished Korra, so I'm officially like out.
You watched season 1 of Korra, though, right?
No, I watched like 2 episodes of Korra, and I was like, I can't stand this at all.
Dang, you should
this
really,
is
you should
so
really watch season
unenjoyable.
1.
Tim just doesn't like a strong
franchise.
female character. That's all.
Nah, it's because Bolin was just way too much for him. Couldn't take it.
Yo. I believe it.
Go ahead.
Bolin's a
Tyler,
goat.
Tyler,
Anyway,
answer
did you
Freeman's
like the
question.
live action Avatar?
I did. I said I watched it.
But did you like it?
That was all right.
The thing is, I don't know if I could take another all right show after Korra. Like, I want to be impressed.
I mean, all right.
Is that too much to say?
I liked Korra, right? Did I like Korra as like Korra character? Fuck no. She's like a really annoying bitch, and I didn't like her. But Bolin's the goat though. And also, they had some really sick fights, and also the world building was fantastic.
Yes, the city was amazing. The show had so much amazing potential for season 1, and then the characters ended up just. All right, we're not turning into shit on Korra, but I don't say they have big shoes to fill. They have something they need to fill. I'm not sure what it is. I'm not sure what I want out of this, but I'm gonna let them cook for 1 season. But I don't know. The second you tell me that you're going to do literally the Acolyte plotline of, oh, there's someone and there's their twin, and the twin might be evil, and it's like, all right, we'll do this plotline.
Oh,
if
yeah,
if they do
twin,
that,
that's right.
If they do that plotline, then like from episode 1, I actually will just turn it off and quit.
Oh, that reminds me. Talking about Star Wars for a second, Tyler, did you see what got announced today?
No, I didn't.
Season 2 of Endor.
Oh, I did see something about that. Yeah, I'm actually I'm looking forward to that. I don't know where they're gonna go with it, but whatever.
I gotta step away for a couple minutes. I'm gonna let you guys keep going with this.
Yeah, I mean, I'm down to check it out. And where season 1 was cool.
It's one of the only Star Wars things I want to go back and watch.
That's honestly also my only Star Wars thing at the moment too.
Yep,
There's literally nothing else.
That's a whole other.
Yeah, that's a whole other topic. That's
a whole podcast. This is an interesting topic, though. I'm interested on your take on this, Tyler.
I don't even know what the fuck this is.
That's fine. So,
What is it?
Because everybody needs to have AI.
Oh my god, can we not anymore? I know. Let's
Xbox
skip this, please.
No. I'm genuinely curious on your take because this has a very negative side, but also a side I think is kind of cool that probably will never get actually used. And it's just an investor selling point.
No, and when I said don't talk, like skip it, I didn't mean actually.
Yeah, I know, but I wanted to address it like it was real.
Oh, okay.
So Xbox announced this past week an AI, whatever you call it, a new AI called Xbox Muse. And what this is supposed to be is it is specifically targeted at gameplay of video games. It is supposed to be an AI tool that you can use to enter inputs into it to say, hey, I want my game to play like this. And it will try to spit out like gameplay for a video game. Like, it is supposed to use machine learning to go, I know what a good space sim is versus an RTS versus this versus that. You're supposed to be able to rough cut like gameplay by telling this thing what you want to do. Also, supposedly,
I'm trying. Wait, is this a development tool you're asking?
So that's
about,
yes. It's for so that's one part of it. Is it's supposed to be for development. You can use this to like rough cut gameplay by just saying I want a game that plays like
I
this.
I get what you're saying. Okay,
but the other sell that they've made is that they can feed old games into this. They can throw this at old games where like the source code is lost, and it will attempt to play through the game and recreate the code for restoration and archival purposes, which is
right. Restoration and archival purposes,
which doesn't make any money. So that's why I'm saying it would be really cool, but it probably won't happen. Like imagine giving GOG a tool like this so that they could actually update old games.
How do I like?
This is just investor bullshit. That's really
so
here's
my thing about it. That's cool. I like that. But as somebody who, and I'm not even mentioning like my extremely brief time in game development. I'm talking about just like being in like the IT field. People will see this and be like, "Oh, it's the silver bullet." And it's like, "Wait, no, hold on." It's like, "No. You're saying we could just make games from scratch? You're telling me we could just like
well, yeah, that's
make the game?" And I'm like, "No, man, like that's not." And then that's how you get garbage.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm sure it will.
Yeah.
I'm not saying this is a good thing or that it's a super cool. I'm suspecting this will be used exactly like you said for how can we cut every corner? Can we fire some people over that? Can we save money?
Yeah, that's always how it is. I mean, do I think it's a cool idea? I think it's a cool idea for conceptualizing. Like, I feel like something like this would be an excellent tool. Like, so for example, I used to use like this engine called Game Maker. It's stupid easy where it's like it takes you like a half hour. And you can probably like conceptualize a gameplay mechanic super easily, but like you don't want to use it to actually build a game. And Freeman will tell you from a development standpoint, it's like you do something like that and you don't know how it works, like you might as well say forget it to try to add more shit onto it. It's gonna look like fucking spaghetti.
Wait, sorry, I missed that. Don't do what and then add on to it.
So but this whole Xbox Muse thing, it's like, oh hey, we're going to basically try to build a game using AI. Well, we want to add on all this shit. Okay, how are we going to add on to it? Shit's going to break. All right, let me go just physically add it. Wait, what the fuck is all this? What is this code? How is this all jerry-rigged together? Like, it's not going to be clean. You know?
I keep using this phrase at work every time someone says, let's add AI to something. I'm like, replace the word AI with a bunch of smart people without context. And if your sentence still makes sense with that phrase, smart people with no context, then no, AI is not a good fit for your project.
Exactly. Excellent point. Yeah, I think it's cool. Like, AI is a really good tool. It's a cool tool. Like, who was it? I was actually telling my friend, because I use AI, but I don't use AI like other people do. At least like conventional, like people will say like, "Oh, I use it to do everything," and people are like, "Man, Tyler, your emails have drastically gotten better since you joined the team." And I'm like, "You're right," because I would write out the email in my tone of voice, and then I would just be like, "Hey, correct this for grammatical errors," and then make it sound a touch more professional, and people literally don't know that it's me. But then you have people who will like, "Oh, write me up this whole thing," and instead of using it as a tool or like an assistant, they try to have it do the work for them in some cases, and it just sounds, you get that uncanny valley. And it sucks because there's already not enough soul in games, a lot of games that are coming out. A lot of these are already cookie cutter, and this is gonna go into an ethical fallacy of slippery slope, but it's gonna we're already there where we have shovelware, and this, I feel like, it's just gonna make more shovelware.
I mean,
Or
That's always it.
I'll use any opportunity possible to bring up that stupid Seinfeld AI project of just constantly trying to generate content to keep people distracted as being the dystopian future of broadcast television.
yeah, and especially with AI too, it's like people completely don't understand the security risk behind AI, and that like machine learning, like poisoning, is a thing. And I could go on about it, but like people don't understand, and it's really frustrating. But yeah, no, this is an interesting topic though. I'm actually surprised I didn't hear anything about this before.
Yeah, me too. But yeah, I just thought it was cool to talk about. It's an AI thing, but we should I also want to pick up the pace on these after.
Speaking of cutting costs, right?
Oh,
I mean, for all we know, this might be even like a part of it, right? Like we heard, you guessed it, more layoffs.
Oh no! Wait, what? No, you're
layoffs.
You skipped
What?
the news that's here for you and me, Tyler.
Oh, what the fuck? Oh, I forgot about this. This is also, I guess that would have been a better segue, but this is also fine.
Okay.
Amazon, what? What's the matter? What? Amazon?
Yeah, this is depressing.
Taking over MGM, which is it's funny,
Amazon
right?
took over MGM years ago, but the thing is, Bond is what we're talking
James
about.
Bond.
James Bond as an IP was still controlled and was still creatively controlled by the producers of the family franchise producers of James Bond. Those two producers have sold the creative control to Amazon officially, so now Amazon makes all Bond decisions.
I see. Okay.
Yes. So Amazon owned MGM, but they couldn't make a project happen. Now Amazon can do whatever project they want, which means incoming terrible Bond TV show in a year and a half.
Yeah.
Some pretty terrible video games, maybe.
Nah, more often probably. You know what? I could totally see them trying to make a TV show, especially after you like. I don't know if you've noticed, Tim, but there's been like a pretty decent influx of spy thrillers recently, TV shows.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised.
There was a Reddit comment that I saw that was apparently Amazon had a spy thriller TV show come out like last year, or in the last maybe even 6 months, or in the last year. I don't remember the name of it, but I looked into it a little bit, and it was like, boy, this seems like the most generic schlop. And it's like, these are literally the people who now own James Bond.
Yeah, that is pretty.
And I just think about like how good the Daniel Craig movies really as a whole. Yeah, Quantum of Solace kind of sucked.
That was like, honestly, the only one aside from Spectre. Like, I really
Spectre's
want to watch again.
Yeah, Spectre's the second lowest.
Bad.
No, it's not horrible. Really, I mean, come on, Skyfall.
Yeah, I mean, all of them are.
No Time to Die, Casino.
Like you said, is objectively, them as a whole is objectively good.
Like, you could easily say that Bond has been on a pretty high with Daniel Craig overall.
Yeah, I agree.
And it's just like, boy, do I have so little faith in this.
Yeah, me too. That is really upsetting. Like, if they keep the movies
I think going to a TV show is the worst possible decision. I think
you know what I see them doing?
Go ahead.
I see them just being like, "Oh, we're just gonna release the books."
No, because they want their own spin on it. They want something that they can say, "This is ours." I think they'll do a TV show. They come out and
said that though.
Huh?
They've been really big on adaptations.
Why? They've already adapted most of the books.
You're right, but it's not Amazon Presents.
God, dude. If,
and you know I'm right,
Tyler. Look, I don't even care if a lot of those older ones aren't that good. like but here's the thing, Tyler. They have things that are quote problematic. Not quote. They have like
Yeah.
Like
the
all
way
gold.
well, the way women are treated in those earlier ones are pretty rough. Like let's not beat around the bush. But I don't trust Amazon to redo that for like it's okay to say, yeah, they made this movie 40 years ago and it's got some problems, but we're not going to try to make it again just to make money.
Yeah.
Like there's such a product of the time, and it's like you kind of want to preserve that and not just overwrite it.
Man, we already got Disney rewriting their movies. It doesn't matter.
I don't want to meet the person who I mentioned Lion King and their mind goes to the live action version.
Dude, I still can't believe. I'm glad that apparently Mufasa did not do good.
Good.
Like,
I thought it did very well.
Shit. Maybe I'm wrong. Fuck.
Maybe you're wrong.
Mufasa's.
Like, people were memeing about how it got beat out by Sonic 3, but like the numbers Mufasa put up weren't small.
Yeah.
It made $700 million on a budget of $200 million.
Third 2024 Disney film to gross more than $600 million worldwide. Fuck.
Yeah, that's the problem. It did well. It's why they're doing
did it only do well?
It's
did do only well first week and it dropped off, or it's been consistently well? Do you know?
Who cares?
No idea.
It didn't matter.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It made almost 700 million.
There's money to be made in movies, but no one will go to see a movie that isn't new, even if they haven't seen it. It's the reason they're doing a shot-for-shot live-action remake of How to Train Your Dragon, when they could have just as easily put How to Train Your Dragon in U.S. theaters.
Dude, you could take some of those movies and just like every year put it back out again.
Like the Disney Vault, I understand the issues with it, but like seeing what's it called, like Interstellar on the 10th anniversary, I'm like, why don't they take movies that people want to see in theaters and put them in theaters?
You know what's coming out in theaters that I'm a quarter tempted to ask you guys to go?
What?
Revenge of the Sith's 20th anniversary is coming out.
Yo, dude, I saw that like 3 times in theaters. I would happily see it in theaters again.
Damn. That's all they gotta do. I'd rather see that than honestly go see.
I mean, we talked about this last time that I saw, like when we were talking about the Oscars. I saw like no movies in theaters in the last year. I have nothing I'm on track to go see this year.
Same. I was talking to a friend earlier about like his girlfriend goes to the movies. Like his girlfriend and her family are big movie buffs.
Crazy.
And it doesn't matter if it looks terrible or not. They will go see
That's all that matters.
I can only understand that if you sign up for like the AMC A-list thing where you get 3 movies a month or 3 movies a week, isn't it?
And like you sign up because you want to do that. Like you want to just see the new movies regardless of whether they're good.
That's what I mean. You just go to the movies because that's an activity. Like if Val and I didn't have Henry, I would be like, sure, I would consider doing something like that to go to the movie theater every night for like free and just go watch a movie in a theater. Cool. But like, that's just crazy to me. I also just don't care. Like, there's too many things that are good to be like, yeah, let's go watch whatever dumb movie came out. Like, what?
Yeah, it's kind of nuts.
Anyway, we don't need to spiral off. I know I said I was trying to keep us on topic, and we're right around that 8-7 minute mark of talking about this. All I wanted to say is I'm terrified of what this means for James Bond.
Yep.
That's really all it is.
If Daniel Craig is the last hurrah, then you know what? It was a good hurrah.
It sure was, but like, man, it was.
You know what? I will use this to try to get you to watch The Jackal now. even though it's exactly what I was talking about, it's like, oh man, it's another like, but man, it's really good. It's so good.
It's sad to see something that has so much legacy to it. Like, it feels like for all the things that we talk about where it's like, this thing has been just churning away, like Marvel. You know, I was tempted to put, like, DC on here because DC announced their plan for content coming in the next, like, few years. Mm-hmm. Like, every year they're going to do, like, 2 movies and a TV show and an animated show, and it's like, this is not DCEU, like Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's not DC Cinematic Universe. They're, like, just going to have DC property stuff. They're not going to try to make it a build up to an Avengers movie every single time because they see how Marvel's floundering with that. But like, Bond just is this one thing. It had some good, it had some bad, but it had this consistent through line. And now to just be like, how can we make all the money off of James Bond? Like,
because fuck you.
It's something that really, like, in an age where like legacy is like 5 years, 10 years, this thing has been going for over 50 years. There's really not a lot of like big things that have this kind of weight behind them in my mind. Like Disney is Disney, but Disney doesn't have a property, and Tyler, we'll get to Wish later, but Disney doesn't have a thing that is like a single solitary through line, consistent character developed, understood thing that you know what you're expecting.
They've had moments where it has certain ones have the profitability to be, but they don't have the staying power. Like I'd argue that like Frozen was like their moneymaker for a while, but it's not their brand.
No, it is a mini brand, but also what does Frozen have? It has a couple TV shows for kids, like a couple little shorts for kids, and it has 2 movies.
And merchandise.
Well, Infinity merchandise.
But
James Bond
didn't
have that. James Bond didn't have that. James Bond was just a movie every 3 years and occasionally a video game that might be good, might be shit. But like Legacy, GoldenEye, still one of the oldest games you could go back to that's like, yeah, this is still tied to a franchise that exists today. How many things are tied to a franchise that exists today from the N64 era even? Pokemon? Tony Hawk doesn't exist anymore.
Actually, they're on the verge of announcing a new one. But
I was about to say they are.
Yeah, I know the remake.
Yeah. Hawk as a
you mean the
remakes?
remakes?
Does not exist.
You mean the remakes?
I mean, they did remakes, but there's talking about a new one.
Yeah, new remakes. 3+3. They
Wait,
announced
that's
this.
what they're doing? Oh,
That's what I saw. Anyway, let's go more depressing news. Layoffs.
Layoffs.
dude, I don't know how. What is it? NetEase who owns Marvel Rivals?
NetEase.
Every article that comes out just shows that they 100% did not anticipate this game being what it was, and it's a miracle that it is what it is.
So let's back up here because there's been a lot of weird reporting on this. The day that The Thing and Human Torch were announced for Marvel Rivals, they announced they were closing a U.S. branch of the Marvel Rivals team. NetEase was doing this. That team was 7 support staff. That entire team was 7 people in that studio.
Yeah, I heard a lot of it had to do with non-development effort, like market research for if they should bring this game to market.
Yes, and I'm not saying it's good. But I had the initial gut reaction of, oh my god, they closed the people who are making Marvel Rivals and they're just going to ship them up to a bunch of devs in China for a quarter of the cost and just ride into the sunset making infinity dollars for the next 3 years. No, it is a 7-person support staff that was in the US and is now closed. It is their US presence, but it was 7 people.
Yeah.
That's interesting, yeah.
Still shit. Not trying to deflect.
Shit, but yeah.
But this strikes me as, like you said, Freeman, they don't feel like they need this anymore because the game is huge. We will ride off into the sunset with our money, and we don't have to deal with people who live 9 hours ahead in a different time zone, or 12 hours even.
Yeah. I still don't get, so like there was a leak report that the CEO wanted to cancel the project close to development because he didn't want to pay licensing fees once it went live, with the idea being we could release a hero shooter without any IP tie-in, and we think that in the current environment we could be profitable. And the CEO said, yes, why would I try to tie in with an IP if it costs us money? Not understanding that now people who don't even know what your game is here, there's a Marvel game and all my friends are playing it, I'll go play it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Like, we just spent 30 minutes bitching about how Magic is like, yo, IPs sell product, and NetEase is like, what do you mean?
Yeah. I don't know. Still begrudgingly playing that game.
There you go.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't spend no money. Now, I do know people who spent money on it. And I'm like, they're bitches.
How much has Luigi spent on this?
Is it mostly just skins? Is that what it is? Or is it like actual unlock,
you know what? Let me
characters?
check. It's just skins, but like it's so like the price I think is kind of ridiculous on some of these. Hold on.
But Tyler, Marvel
Yeah, 'cause
Marvel.
Luigi spent money on the Luna skin. I know,
Of course he
I
did.
mean, he's not on Overwatch anymore, so he has to put his money
and
somewhere.
that was at least like $12, I think, just for that Luna set. But while I boot the game up, yeah, it's fucking stupid. I haven't spent a red cent on here, so I'm fine. I'm chilling. I never spent money on Overwatch either, except for the initial purchase of the game, and I'm proud to
I
say that.
I felt that at the time I really loved Overwatch and I did want to support them. So every time they came with like a new loot box thing, I'd throw $20 at the game. But I also had the same philosophy about Guild Wars 2, which is one of those buy-to-play models, but the devs rely on the cash shop to keep the game going. I will still buy like maybe $15 worth of stuff in that game on a given month where I'm playing. I haven't spent anything in 2025 yet, but it's that same philosophy. But no, I never threw. Like I remember when the first loot boxes came out, and it's like, yeah, on average you'll have to spend $120 to unlock everything. And I was like, nope, not doing that.
Yeah. Let the oh yeah, let's look at the
So this
skins
one's.
for
Oh,
Mr. and
sorry.
Mrs. Fantastic.
You guys keep going. I'll be right back.
No, you're fine. Yeah, 2,000. Oh yeah, but you get a set of stuff for 2,200. It's just one fucking skin, and how
Yep.
much is it? How much do I buy? I forgot how much to buy is. How much is it? God damn it! Give me. I want conversion rates, please, for the love of God. Whatever. It doesn't matter. I will get to it in a second. I'm just really bad, I think.
So, while you're looking that up,
Yeah.
hot off the presses is much more heavy duty losses. Warner Brothers, kings of good decisions like kill the Suicide Squad and not making another Arkham game that prints money, have announced that they are closing Monolith Studios, famous makers of Fear and the Shadow of War / Shadow of Mordor games, creators of the patented Nemesis system that was sat on by Warner Brothers and wasted away after an incredible showing from those two games. And two other studios.
One of Tyler's favorite horror game.
What?
The Condemned Criminal Origins game.
Oh, shit. Dude, they knew that old horror stuff. Fear was even really spooky. That first one is still spooky.
I know, man.
And Shadow of Mordor and Shadow of War were pretty good. I like those games a lot.
Yeah, well, you know, whatever, man. I guess we didn't want them anymore.
So Warner Brothers closed them, which is very sad, and two other studios that were internal and hadn't done as much. But also the announcement that Monolith had been working on a Wonder Woman game that is now canceled.
Nice.
It was Tyler. No, never mind. Someone on Reddit said, "How hard is it to just take God of War and put Wonder Woman in that game?"
Amazing.
I mean that's not too off base of what you could just do.
Not.
Just take Xbox Muse, Fiat God of War, and then put Wonder Woman's skin.
You fucking Christ.
This really sucks. Monolith was honestly a pretty storied studio before they got acquired by Warner Brothers, and Warner Brothers seems to be one of those companies that's dedicated to making every bad decision that puts lots of money in the executives' pockets and sees no punishment for them for their horrible business ideas. So, sucks. More layoffs. Great.
Yep. We love that. That's great.
Tyler, do you know what this next story is? Was this you?
Sorry. All right, so confirm it's like $12.
$12 for one skin.
Yeah, $12 for one skin.
Tyler, here's the scary thing. Is that
what?
Is that crazy? Like, is it like, okay, that's a horrible price. Is that off base for just the industry these days?
It's not.
It's not.
It's not. It's kind of fucked up. I don't like it. But that's why I don't buy skins anyway. I think I did once in Call of Duty like forever ago. But yeah, I don't. Oh yeah, no, I bought a battle pass. That's right. I bought the battle pass once.
Mm-hmm.
But I had played it for like over a year, so I was like, it's fine. But I hate it. It's not like you get anything extra special with it. It's just the skin. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm good. This next one is me, just because I'm like, I heard this, and just every time I hear something about George R. R. Martin doing something that's not wins, I'm like, man, fuck this motherfucker.
Tyler, how bad is it to say that every time I see a headline that's George R. R. Martin, I think, is this the time?
Dude, I can't do it anymore. I'm like, I've given up, but like, it just really is annoying. Like,
It's just never
what
gonna happen.
never gonna happen. I'm just annoyed because George had this like thing. He came out and he had like an interview and he was talking about the projects that he's involved with. We're funny enough, ever since the Monster Hunter movie, Paul W.S. Anderson, dude, the king of video game adaptation movies, along with his wife, Mila Jovovich, they're coming out with like another movie, but it's based on George's like short story, which I never heard of. It's like one of his like off fantasy like things that he's written. Which also I heard some rumors. I don't know if it's like actually true, but apparently HBO is also thinking about doing another spin-off show for Dunk and Egg.
Who?
So Dunk is this hedge knight, and Egg is Aegon.
Okay.
From Game of Thrones, and he wrote a bunch of short stories, and I read like a few of them, and they were actually pretty cool. But they're thinking of doing that. But yeah, he's talking about like all these projects, like one of them being this movie, and then the other, and then in that same breath, I guess he also announced that Elden Ring, like there are talks of an Elden Ring movie. Like, who's asking for this? Who is asking for
Tyler,
this?
it's not
also,
about who's asking. It's about what do we think we can make money off of.
I just fucking like, dude, I'm tired. Like after, and like, you know what? I think it's been. I'm glad we got to hear after everything we had just said, because man, I feel like it's just been snowballing.
It has
This entire session, because this also reminds me that we have season 2 of like The Last of Us coming out, and I'm just like, man, who asked for any of this? This is bullshit. And you know what? Everybody's gonna watch it. Everybody is gonna ingest all this garbage. And these people who are just making money off of stupid bullshit is gonna keep happening. It's gonna keep happening, and it's never gonna stop.
Yeah.
Never gonna stop. And I'm tired. I'm tired, boss.
Yep.
I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I ain't got it in me no more.
It's funny, as we get more content all the time, I think people just ignore, like, unless something snap gets big, like Squid Games, I guess, is an example that popped into my head. I don't know why. Unless something is a random hit, people are just like, oh, I know this thing.
Yep. It's
like, yeah, Marvel's on a downward path, sure. They still earn more money than 95% of all movies you're ever going to see in a movie theater or end up in a movie theater.
Captain America made a lot of money opening weekend. I mean, they had a huge drop-off, but
did it really?
I think it made its money back. Oh, yeah. It got really bad press, which is funny.
Tyler, was this past weekend the second weekend or the first? I legit forgot.
The second weekend.
Okay.
Yeah, it was the second weekend because the weekend before that, well, that's what I was gonna say. Marvel, they had a tie-in. Get this shit right. I'm not surprised. They used to do this kind of thing all the time, but like, it feels oddly scummy. But they were handing out codes for Captain America shit for Marvel Rivals.
Captain America: Brave New World has third worst week-to-week drop, second weekend drop of a Marvel movie.
I've heard nothing but terrible things about it.
Yeah.
All I hear is that, well, like Tyler just said, and like I just said, this movie had a big opening weekend, and then is just. I think this is what this is what's happening with Marvel. Marvel doesn't have a tail anymore. People go to Marvel movies, and they see it once and they're done. Like there's no tale of, oh, this is a good one, go see it. Everyone goes right away, and then it falls off a cliff. Now Thunderbolts is supposed to be good. I don't fucking know. I don't really care.
I'm wondering, and the sales numbers probably tell a different story, but like I'm wondering if Marvel's losing mainstream appeal and it's going back to just being like the hyper fans are seeing this. At least on like opening week.
Are there hyper fans?
Yes.
I mean, you go opening night, they definitely exist.
Well, that's what I mean. That's why we get $100 million opening weekend for Brave New World, and then it falls to 20-some million, 28.
Yeah, because I think those people, like you have those hyper fans, and that's like kind of it.
Like, I wonder how much of it is like it's
Or
a case
kids.
where I straight won't
kids.
see a Marvel movie in theaters because, air quotes, I'm not caught up on Marvel.
Yes. Well, and that's exactly like I was saying during the DC part, or when I mentioned DC. DC seems to be actively trying to avoid making that mistake. They want to set the expectation as early as possible that you do not have to see all of these. That's not required watching whatsoever.
Yeah.
Which very much seems like the right way to do it. Because it worked for Marvel for like 10 years, and then we got Avengers, Infinity War, and Endgame, and then... Pew! You made me care about one thing, and that one thing just happened. Now I do not care.
Yeah, they didn't find a good I feel like they just found a really bad hook. Like they just found a bad hook to follow up.
It also doesn't help that their guy turned into a horrible criminal that they were like leaning on for literally everything. It doesn't help that Ant-Man beat that villain. Apparently, I didn't even watch Quantumania, but apparently it was really disappointing that Kang just kind of lost in that movie. But also then the guy turned into a big criminal, and now they have to completely go... Now like they're just going back to original actors, and it's like, oh...
I'll say this, though. They actually set themselves up to do something pretty good at the end of Loki Season 2. Loki Season 2 was actually really good. Like, do you want me to just tell you guys? Do you guys give a
Doesn't
shit?
he do the tree?
No, I don't care.
Are you talking about him being the tree?
He becomes the tree. He becomes the guy at the end. Like, he essentially kind of takes over for Kang, and he's at the end. And I think that'd be kind of interesting because Loki kind of redeems himself, while at the same time he's like almost responsible for like everything. Well, not responsible, but like he is at the end of all things. I don't know. I feel like it would be a pretty decent setup. Like he could have replaced Kang, in my opinion, and I think it would have been a really good play considering Loki is a very, very popular character.
Mm-hmm.
And two, it was actually a pretty solid setup.
Well, but why would he replace Kang? Because Loki's got redeemed, so he's...
Yeah, but now he's doing things for a different reason. Like, he would have similar motivations and maybe feelings, because that was Kang's whole deal. He's like, well, I guess Kang was more of like, I want to conquer everything, but like, Loki could have a similar, like... thing where he's like, I'm doing this because I have to. Like, I don't want to, but I have to. Kind of thing. I don't know. It maybe not even that, and that could even be a very similar plot device than what Thanos was doing. But I think there's some decent opportunity. Like, all I'm saying is that I think they would have had an easy time replacing Kang. Right, I feel like they had a good opportunity for a seamless transition, and they didn't capitalize on that.
Well, too late now.
Would that have made me see everything else? Absolutely not.
Nope. And there you go.
No, that wouldn't have changed anything for me, right? Because if I truly felt that way, then I think things would have changed after Loki. I don't think that would have happened regardless. Like, even if people were saying that it was, I still wouldn't care. The only reason why I watched Loki Season 2 to begin with is because it was one of those, Michelle and I had nothing to watch, so we watched Loki Season 2.
Tyler, I'm so sorry you guys keep having this problem.
I know, right? Yeah, listen, it's because we don't want to read subtitles while reading.
Oh, there it is. There it
Yeah.
is. There it is.
That's it.
Look, man, just be a bad person. Watch English dubs.
I can't, dude. I can't, dude.
It's
Most
so
of
bad.
it's so bad. I don't
Yeah,
know if
they're
it's a part of
terrible.
the
I was actually
audio
just
mixing
reading on
or the
Reddit
directing.
Freeman.
It's not
Apparently,
good.
there's someone who's terrible in the solo leveling dub. There's some like famous person who's doing a voice in solo leveling, but they're terrible. So everyone's like, "This is shit."
There's no way. There's no way it's the main character because
No.
his VA is going above and
It's
beyond
not.
for this
It's
one.
not. It's not. But it's somebody else. If you go to the subreddit, you'll probably see it.
Like also too, I don't know if it's even the talent. Like sometimes it's the talent. I honestly think it might even be the direction.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
Like I think a lot of it actually might even be the direction because sometimes I hear Johnny Young Bosch and shit, and I'm like, you don't sound right here. when I like most of his stuff. So I don't know. Yeah. But hey.
Anyway, we got way off topic from GRRM.
Yeah. Oh, we're Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's right. You're playing. How's that Monster Hunter Wilds?
Wouldn't know. It's not out for like 2 more days, and I'm losing it, or 3 more days. But the early reviews are out, and they're all saying kind of the same thing. And we've known this since like the last beta. It's a very pretty game. It's the prettiest game they've ever made. But unfortunately, it runs like dog shit at launch, which is kind of on brand for Capcom, considering Monster Hunter Worlds was the same way. So there's an expectation that they're going to release a performance patch for it. But the big thing is, and I'm not sure if this is even really a criticism of the franchise or not, or if it's just people who are experienced in the game are reviewing it, but everyone's like, this is so much easier than the last time I played Monster Hunter. A lot of it is just quality of life. They did definitely decrease the amount of time you have to spend on each hunt. So everyone's like, it's easy because I can kill something in 5 minutes, but it's like the game is designed around the idea that hunts don't take 50 minutes anymore. So there's a little bit of conflict in the reviews. I'm going to treat it this way. I will play the game myself and ignore the reviews and just know this is a pretty game that you might stutter and go figure if the gameplay is good or not. From the sound of it, they are still doing the sort of live service model of, here's the game, we're going to release more monsters over the next 6 months, you get them for free because you bought the game kind of thing. And it makes me question of like, is that okay buying a game that's not yet complete? Or, I don't know.
Look, Freeman, we're at the point where, like I said, I loved Ghost of Tsushima. I won't bother playing Ghost of Yotei this year or next year. I just don't see any reason to buy a new video game, especially from a big publisher or big developer, at all on release. There is literally no point in my mind.
I mean, I think it depends though. Like if you like I don't know. If you think that it's fine. Or like if you like
I just think everyone uses the crutch of DLC, patches, battle passes, like all of this stuff to just mean that the game is explicitly not done. Like, and I'm not saying that means it's a deal breaker. Like, Tyler, you had fun with Cyberpunk closer to release. I could boot up Cyberpunk in 6 months later this year and finally play what is actually the finished product of Cyberpunk. And that doesn't mean your experience was bad, but I'm going to have a more complete experience of Cyberpunk that probably works and runs better because it's been patched for 3 years, 4 years.
I was going to make a joke about how if I play Witcher 3, I don't have to wait 3 years to play the DLC, but surprise, surprise, I'm my own worst enemy.
Well, yes.
Yeah,
but, or even with Ghost of Tsushima. You said you played it twice. You loved that game. That's a case where the original game came out in a fantastic state. Whether or not it's true, I feel like Lethal Mode, which came out years later, was the reason I loved this game, and I played it stably on PC. I didn't have to buy a PS4 or anything to play this game. So
I will say,
despite my desperate attempts to loan you my PlayStation.
Well, it's because there's a TV in use most of the time, or I'm playing old retro games with Val so that she can see some of the games that I played when I was much younger.
Because you hate me.
Oh my fucking god!
It's just that there's so much to learn about.
Huh?
There's so much to learn about instead of playing PS4 games, Tyler.
I get.
So much to what?
So much to learn about. It makes you want to shout Blippy. Sorry,
Oh
I
my
figured you get this
fucking
reference.
God.
Fuck off! Oh my god! I'm gonna
It's because
strangle
it's
you.
because we're explicitly talking about things to do when Henry's not in the room. That's why my brain didn't go to that.
Gosh, well, you said your TV's usually in use, and I'm like, all right, let's go with the low
Except at
hanging
night
fruit.
when Val and I play like Crimson Skies High Road to Revenge for like the 5th time in my life.
Hold on.
You know,
before
speaking of
we topic
PlayStation.
transition,
Oh
real quick.
god damn it!
I need to finish complaining about Monster Hunter real quick.
Oh
So
right.
this happened with Activision a while back, where they're like, our whole company is going to use a single engine, even if it causes performance problems.
Which it
And
will.
Capcom is going through this now, where they're like, every game needs to be done on the Resident Evil engine.
Yep.
I was
But, like,
about to ask you. I was like, are they using the Resident
is.
Evil?
Yeah, they're using the
engine?
Resident Evil engine, which is the problem because
Get the fuck out of here!
the big thing about this game is that there's no like loading. Well, there's some loading between maps, but zones don't. This is meant to be the most open world Monster Hunter. You don't go back to a village. You just stay out in the field and pick up new hunts. So like everyone's saying this is the first real open world Monster Hunter. It's like, but this is not an engine even remotely built for doing open world games.
As someone who has played at least 6 games on this engine minimum, it is not made for that.
Yeah, like that's why it's having performance problems. They're using this engine when they really shouldn't be. Anyway, that's what I wanted to complain about. Inevitably, they will somehow optimize it later, but the fact that they're sticking with engines that don't do what the job you want to do hurts me.
Damn,
All right, but yeah, but speaking of PlayStation.
Yeah, PlayStation. Their State of Play came out. Is there anything that you guys saw there?
Didn't this happen for the last podcast? No.
Did it?
No, it happened the day after the last podcast.
okay.
Yeah, I thought it was the day after.
I saw there were some announcements. I don't know.
The only one that I care about,
I know. I looked through the list. I'm like, I haven't heard of any of these. I'm assuming this is all just brand new announcements for smaller studio games.
Yeah. Well, there's only one that I care about.
We're part of the problem. We were just talking about people not spending money on the small stuff, and then Freeman just goes, "It's a bunch of small scale games."
There's a bunch of small scale games. I mean, I was looking at. Well, some of them aren't. Like, there's a Five Nights at Freddy's game.
I'm not disagreeing, but I'm just but I'm saying it's funny after we just said
we're part of the problem.
We don't like, oh my god, all these big movies that earn so much money and da 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 da. These small indie things, no one cares.
No, all right. I'll put it this way: I don't care about indie games that aren't out yet.
That's.
I don't really care about the pre-hype of games where I know nothing. Oh my god, sorry, I'm trying to put one trailer on. Like, I don't know. I understand the industry needs pre-release hype, but a lot of these games that explode out of nowhere, it's because they're immediately well received on release. I almost just ignore games that I'm not already knowledgeable about. You know what I mean?
Well, actually, so here's the thing. A lot of these games that were mentioned, they're actually bigger titles. Like they talked about Metal Gear Solid Delta, like that trailer.
Oh yeah, we got a release date for it. It's like I think August of this year.
Yeah, Borderlands 4, which I know a bunch of people are about. There's a new Onimusha game.
Oh, I saw that one.
Yeah, like there's some bigger titles. And what I was trying to say before, they was the the hell is it called? Split Fiction. The people who did It Takes Two.
Yeah.
They're coming out with Split Fiction. Like that's their new game, and it's coming out March 6th.
Oh, they have a date for it. Because I know that they announced it at the Game Awards with the first trailer.
Oh yeah, they announced it, but we didn't get any gameplay or anything like that for it. I thought
we got like little clips, but you couldn't really figure out how the gameplay was going to work.
Yeah, this one was a gameplay trailer.
Okay.
Yeah, so Michelle and I are pretty excited. It's actually really funny because it comes out that Saturday after our wedding. So it's like, oh, we get to play this.
That's your honeymoon game?
That's our honeymoon game. So we're pretty excited for that. But that's all I really want to talk about. Like a lot of this stuff, like I don't really care about. Like Metal Gear Solid Delta, as much as I love the MGS series, I don't care much. And I think I talked to you guys, right, about I think I mentioned this actually last podcast.
You're talking about like remakes that are too safe or something, right?
Not really. Oh no. This was off. Yeah, no, I was talking to somebody else about it. I am not a fan of Delta so far. The idea of Delta, because I feel like Konami is like, man, we just don't make games, but hey, we're just gonna,
No, I remember us having this conversation, but we had it in person.
Okay. Oh, that's right. We had it in person. That's right. That's right. It was with you. Yeah. It's just like Konami putting this out, and it's like, oh, like Kojima's not even here.
Yeah.
Granted, like that's how it was. Like, I'm not gonna say that God of War 2018 needed the last head developer, or Gears of War needed Cliff Bleszinski, right? But I feel like it's like, I don't know, there's something a little weird about this one where Konami did all this stuff to get out of the games industry for like, home game consoles, and now all of a sudden it's like we're gonna break glass and start remaking all these games that everybody liked playing, like Silent Hill 2, right?
Yeah.
Like, come on. I just feel like it's super cheap, and I honestly don't want to support that business model. I mean, I will support re-releasing MGS4 in a better playable state, but that's probably the last thing I'd probably ever support of theirs. I didn't even get Silent Hill 2, and I loved the original one.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that sentiment. If they could just make 4 widely available, we'd be fine. We don't like, as much as I love how pretty 3 is going to look, it's not like 3 as a game is that outdated.
No, I think they're even making it basically the same game. It's just updated visual, like everything. Like, it's a remake, and that it's a remake, and like Halo 2 is going to be was a remake with like the super updated visuals.
I was gonna say maybe not so much a remaster instead of a remake.
It is a more remaster where everything is polished and updated graphics. Yeah, it is more of a, but like it's a remaster in that it's not like HD upscaling, right? Like
yeah.
Like
No, they
this
rebuilt
is a
it. They rebuilt the graphics.
Redone.
Yeah.
Yeah, Halo 2 I would still call a remaster because the gameplay
Yeah.
isn't different, even though it's definitely not on the original engine and it looks way better.
Yeah. But yeah, that's how I feel about it. So I'm like, man, fuck this. At least Konami. Everything else that PlayStation doing is like whatever. And there are more game announcements with Pokemon. Man, do we give a fuck about Pokemon? Every time we talk about this, the cycle never continues. The wheel of time never stops.
No, because I quit playing Pokemon. It
Oh
happened.
my god.
We said it couldn't be done. But I haven't played a Pokemon game since I was disappointed with Sword and Shield. But I do want to bring up that now that the Switch 2 is out, we can have a Nintendo Direct where they reveal what we already knew forever ago, and that Pokemon Legends ZA is so dog shit they can't get it to run on the Switch 1, so they're going to launch it on Switch 2.
Already.
So it's definitely happening. We're definitely getting the Legends ZA announcement tomorrow, or I guess the new trailer.
Freeman, is this the game that makes you buy a Switch 2?
Honestly, well, no, Switch 2. No, I was saying, is it the game that makes me play Pokemon again? Because I was talking to my sister the other day, because I'm just like, I didn't like Sword and Shield, but would I like Scarlet and Violet? She's like, honestly, no. And then she paused. She's like, but you should still try Legends Arceus. So, I'm not going to get a Switch 2 to play ZA, but if ZA is good on Switch 2, I might consider just playing Legends Arceus. I know. I realize calling it ZA is stupid. I'm going to keep doing this.
If we had a physical copy of Arceus, I would have loaned it to you.
I know. My sister also has digital, so I couldn't steal hers either.
Yeah, you guys have talked about this multiple times, how Michelle was like, Freeman should try Arceus.
I want to give it a shot. I just don't actually want to.
I don't want to play Pokemon games, but I want to give Arceus a shot.
Look, man, I've been playing ROM hacks or
so Freeman, what you're saying
for sale Pokemon games recently.
So Freeman, what you're saying is you're still getting your fix.
Yes, I'm just not supporting Game Freak and
oh my god,
whatever the hell.
Tyler, we thought he was clean.
Now.
We thought he was clean. He just switched
no.
He just switched to non-regulated products.
You thought he was clean.
Yeah,
I know my friend, and he is not clean. All my friends are addicts in some way, shape, or form.
I will always
I got
be.
two people who went back to the fucking WoW den recently. Like, I guess there's some new update for WoW, and
we missed Luigi as our consultant.
Dude, I got another. I befriended somebody else at work. He's playing League of Legends. I'm like, dude.
Oh, I'm so
Look,
out of League. It's been so long.
I'll never quit Pokemon, but I want to put this into context. I started playing Emerald. I started playing Emerald a year and a half ago before my surgery, and then played it a lot while I was in the sling. And then the second I was able to hold a real video game controller again, I stopped playing Emerald. I picked it up again recently because I was back in a sling. So
Freeman,
it's only when I lose use of one of my arms do I start playing Pokemon again.
Can I just say, you literally started this by saying I'm out of Pokemon, and you literally
it's taken me over a year and a half to do an Emerald playthrough. So tell me, am I really into Pokemon?
Yes, because you literally just said I will never stop playing Pokemon.
Yeah, but I'm
literally just said that.
Yeah, I understand that, but that doesn't. But like, I'm not sitting here lining up for midnight releases,
and
completing the Pokédex, like trying to get limited time events at GameStop. I'm out of that. But I'm never going to stop being a fan of the games that I loved.
And I'm not saying you should, but the literal, like, you could do the splice edit of I'm so out, and then 2 minutes later I'll never be out.
But I am. I don't give a shit about the new releases.
But
I'll never stop loving Gen 6 and early.
Oh my god, neither will I. If I had Freeman, I shouldn't say that because you've given me a retro device. I wish I could load up like that Emerald ROM hack that what's his name, Smith Plays Pokemon or whatever that guy put out.
Emerald it's not permanent. Emerald Legacy.
I would try the Emerald and the Crystal ones that he did.
You can.
Not on PC.
You can though. Yeah, you can. What the fuck?
No. You can. I don't want to. I want to have like Freeman's super fancy handheld.
I mean, I can loan you my Vita if you want.
No. Freeman already lent me a device one time. But
I'm fixing up one that I'm good to lend out again pretty soon. I just need to get it like not lagging on basic shit because the SD card is whack.
I also am hesitant because I would love to buy the one that you bought, Friedman, because that one seems really slick. Like that form factor of the Switch.
Oh, the Retroid, the really widescreen one? Yeah.
That one seems really slick. But I also know myself, and anytime I've thought about getting into handhelds, I just stopped. I want to. Maybe if you get another one working, I'll buy it, or I'll try it again and try to like consistently play it because I really want to stop looking at my Reddit so much.
Yeah,
that's my big thing. Yeah, that means playing something with a PlayStation logo on it. Ugh.
Oh my god, bro!
Tyler,
all right, Leslie.
As if that wasn't scientifically stated to get a rise out of you. Speaking of getting a rise out of somebody, Leslie, I don't know if you guys want to talk about this as the last topic, but this is more breaking news from today. Kathleen Kennedy, president of Lucasfilm for 13 years.
This wasn't thought this was a political announcement.
Oh God. Has told people at Disney and at Lucasfilm that she's going to retire sometime this year.
I can't believe it's been that long, but it has been that long. It's fucking crazy.
Is that how long it's been since they sold to Disney?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Right? Isn't that crazy?
Tyler, it's been almost half my life since Star Wars was really good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's sad that you go to Reddit and you read all the comments and people are like, yeah, she had a couple good ones like Rogue One, Start of Mandalorian, some of the animated stuff, and then it's like everything else.
That wasn't her though. Well, that wasn't her.
But everything else is just discarded. Like, there's been a lot of Star Wars in that time, and all of it's just seen as garbage.
Dude, but like, no, for all the good stuff, she hasn't got. Kevin Feige got credit for all that other shit.
Well, also, I think it's fair to say she was president of Lucasfilm, but she was there for a very long time. Like, her career there is over like 30 years, I think, or something like that. Like, she was at Lucasfilm for a long time.
And go to full me.
I don't know, man. This is seen.
71. Damn.
Huh?
She's 71.
That's crazy. I just think Star Wars is in this really weird place where they have a few things that people care about, but I think just like with Marvel, the brand is like being bled dry. I haven't given a shit. I haven't watched the new seasons of Mandalorian. I didn't watch Acolyte. Obi-Wan's show was disappointing. Andor was good. here. I still haven't watched Andor. I need to. I don't know, man. There hasn't been a Star Wars movie since Episode 9, which I have not seen. It is insane to me still that I could tell my younger self, like in high school, hey, you're not going to finish the next Star Wars trilogy because it sucks so bad. I would, like, punch myself in the face if I said that.
I'm looking at her filmography. I never actually looked at her filmography.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever she did with this last trilogy actually makes zero sense now. Like, it makes me more upset, actually.
What do you mean?
Because I didn't know that she was with Lucasfilm that long.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
And she's, like, executive producer on all of these movies.
Back to the Future. Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Back to the Future 2, 3, Gremlins.
Yeah.
Fievel Goes West.
The Goonies. Like, she played on all these. So it's like, you would think that someone like this, who worked on all of these things, knows the spirit.
Even Tyler, let's step back a little bit also, because executive producer means one thing. Producer to me is more important. Even as a producer, E.T., Jurassic Park the original, Twister, which, you know, haha. Sixth Sense. Jeez, I can't talk. Sixth Sense. But then you get to the newer stuff. She was the producer of Rogue One. I know you said that was a Feige thing, Tyler. She was a producer on Rogue One, but she was also a producer on Force Awakens, Last Jedi, Rise of Skywalker, and Solo.
It's just, I don't know. I find it weird. That, like,
she was a producer on The Mandalorian from the beginning, but she was also a producer on Book of Boba Fett, Obi-Wan, Andor, Willow, Ahsoka, and Acolyte and Skeleton Crew. She was literally a producer on all of the Star Wars TV shows. Damn. So she at least had to have been involved in all of them.
Yeah. Why was it all so bad? Where did it all go so wrong?
I feel like she probably got a lot of flack for things that are bad, but it's also fair to say that the more of the stuff, like, I'm looking at, like, you look at her television producer credits, more of this is bad than good.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
but didn't she say some, like, pretty controversial things, too?
I don't fucking know, dude.
About the fans or something else?
Probably. Who knows?
Something about strong female character or something. I don't know.
Oh boy, I don't know. That I don't know. But either way, this is a big deal because I think it was only Lucas and her that have been president of Lucasfilm before. So that's nuts. Who knows where Star Wars goes from here? But I don't know, man. I'm just Tyler. You said the meme before. I'm tired, boss.
I'm tired, boss.
I'm tired of the little flame of a Star Wars boy in me getting excited at the thought of certain things, and then just immediately going, nah.
So let's get your fans to get a Twitter campaign going to get you elected as the president of Lucasfilm.
I don't want. Nothing would make me less happy.
For president.
Nothing would make me less happy.
No, you need to sacrifice this for us because I want to. Yeah,
for the good of the Empire.
There's nothing good though. I don't have the idea on how to save it. My answer is going to be, hey, let's get that KOTOR shit off the ground again.
There's literally
pull the Uno Reverso, get rid of the new canon and bring back the old canon.
Yeah, literally the Old Republic. Literally, that's all you got to do. All you got to do is break glass on Old Republic anything, and it's fucking saved.
No, Tyler, because the High Republic is the thing that they were doing for the past 5 years, don't you know? The High Republic. That's when the Republic was good, like 10 years before or whatever, 100 years before, and that's when the Acolyte took place in the High Republic. I want to fucking kill myself as soon as those words
but no one actually gives a fuck about it though. Like no one.
God. Mara Jade Skywalker died for this.
Mara Jade Skywalker died for this. Damn.
I'm not even wrong.
She did.
She literally died for this.
Damn. Upsetty spaghetti.
All of Han and Leia's kids who aren't emo losers died for this. Oh, Freeman, this is all good news. This is only all good. Let's cross
losers,
the ocean.
It's time for the Weeb shit.
Oh, good. We're starting with Gundam. Fuck.
Yeah, all right. There is not a lot to talk about this week, so this will be nice and quick. First one, Gundam G-Quacks. I think that's the actual real pronunciation. G-Quacks like a duck. It was coming out in theaters in Japan, and then it's coming out in theaters, the first 4 episodes on February 28th, so in a couple days here in the US. But then they confirmed that it is in fact going to get an April release date, so we're getting this in spring. So not that long to wait for the airing. The fact that it's so close means I have lost any interest in possibly seeing this in theaters. Not that I was gonna go.
Oh my god!
I'm gonna watch this out. I need to know, are there other kits to build? Because the first 4,
oh fucking god,
I'm not building these kits. These are ugly. But there could be more.
I don't think with this art style you're gonna find a lot you're gonna like.
Honestly, no. So they've, outside of the main Gundam, which also it doesn't have Gundam in its name, so we can't call it a Gundam. It's kind of like Ariel.
Oh my god! Fuck off.
That also wasn't called Gundam; it was just called Ariel. They have a couple other designs. Like there's one that's very meant to be the Zaku, but it's like the most Evangelion Zaku I've ever seen, to the point where it's almost unnerving to look at.
Ugh.
I'm not. Hopefully, this looks cool in action. I don't think it looks cool in plastic. But
that's where the money is, though.
That said, they're releasing a ton of classic Gundams in plastic. They finally confirmed. Everyone's been screaming because they haven't revealed a master grade all year, and they finally are doing the Barbados Lupus. It's finally getting a master grade, and it's the one for this year, so it's going to be hype. So there's a lot of good ones getting announced that aren't the new.
What was the other one, Freeman? What was the other one? You told me there was one that is built for me.
They're doing a super deformed Ariel for me. Oh no,
no, for me.
Oh, the real grade Wing Zero. Yeah, the real grades are always solid. And they're doing another Gundam Wing one.
And it's the good Wing Zero design. Oh. I don't care. I'll have another Barbados and another Wing Zero on my shelf. I don't care.
Yeah, one way or another, we're building plastic this year. Moving along, the show My Dress Up Darling, which is, I believe season 2 is announced. We're just kind of waiting on dates here. The manga announced that they're ending next week, and what I do with every manga that's ending is I read the next last chapter to see if it's good or not. I'm not going to spoil anything, but like, since this show aired, its genre got reclassified from romance to what people are now calling status quo romance, where the idea is the relationship never really develops. It's just about two characters in a will they, won't they situation, just watching them be in spicy situations together.
No, dude.
That said, I will say the saving grace is that even though the relationship has barely moved since where we were in season 1, the final chapter is a 10-year later epilogue where they are totally together.
No, dude, that's such a waste. Oh,
it's literally what they did with Takagi-san. It's how all of these genres end, and I'm mad about it.
Cloverworks is supposed to be doing season 2 sometime this year, according to Mal.
Classic Cloverworks. Yeah. Either way, the franchise has ended. I'm not sure if we'll get past a season 2. I like being wrong on this, but I'm skeptical.
I mean, Freeman, season 2 has triple the numbers of Windbreaker season 2, which is coming next season on Mal, as people who are like planning to watch it. So yeah, this has numbers.
I'm wondering, so I'll call this the quintuplets effect. As long as they can continue with the tail on merch, you can totally justify another season of the anime.
Don't call it that.
The quintuplets effect.
Weren't we just talking about quintuplets?
Was it in relation to 100 Girlfriends? Or was
yeah, because the same studio that does 100 Girlfriends is the studio that did quintuplets.
Yes. And they're certainly cooking 100 Girlfriends.
They are the kings of more and more girls all the time.
How do we give everyone screen time?
Dude, like we said, 100 Girlfriends will air forever. And they'll make money off it forever. And it'll be funny forever, hopefully.
We did the math. It's like 24 seasons or something, right? Is the number?
We have...
At 4 girls a season?
4 girls a season.
Oh, no, that puts it 25 seasons?
Well, we've already had 4 this season. And we just introduced a new girl this week. Maybe there'll be another secret one, like there was last season.
No, we've seen her. The one with the...
yeah, because we had the maid...
The one with the bangs. We haven't met her yet.
Maid, bangs, blonde girl, eater, food girl, and baseball girl. That's 5 this season.
Anyway, listeners, for context, we're not watching this because it's an actual harem romance. We're watching this because it's basically just a comedic parody.
It's just excellent.
Of harem.
It's just great trash.
It's yes, it's hilarious trash. But
Tyler, Val leaves the room She won't even be in the room
It's
with
hilarious.
it on when me
She
and Luigi
refused
and
to be in the
Freeman watch
presence
it.
of But she has to know that we're not sitting here like gooning over this. We're sitting here laughing hysterically for 22 minutes
Dude,
straight.
She can
every
hear us.
Sunday.
She's in my office. She can hear
knows
us.
She knows that we're laughing at this show.
So funny. Oh my god. Tyler, they all went Super Saiyan. The youngest, the smallest girl in the group got bullied during a baseball game last week, and they all literally went Super Saiyan, and they they had the golden hair, and they were called Warriors of Legend.
And then played the off-brand version of the Dragon Ball opening
and
in the background.
Two of them had their hair. It's so long it went off the screen.
It did like the Gon hair from Hunter x Hunter.
Oh, from Hunter x Hunter.
Yeah, they did that effect. It was goofy.
So
then this
funny.
week everyone was getting blown away by this effect, and they all did the Yamcha pose.
They did the Yamcha pose.
Like the show, it's like I think it's owned by the company that does Shonen Jump, so they were able to do all these parodies without getting dinged. But they
also do the hilarious, like, they know how to break the fourth wall. Like, they started the episode with a shot of the new girl, and then the narrator just cuts and goes, "Wait, or what is happening? Are we about to start an episode? Seeing the next soulmate?" And then they just cut to them walking by each other on the street and not seeing each other, and he goes, "Oh, I guess not this week."
Or the main character speculated the plot twist halfway through the episode. And then when it's revealed to be, he turns to the cameras like, "Viewers, I'm so sorry. I ruined this week's plot line. I really didn't mean to. Like, please keep watching. I assure you the plot will get better." Like, they're so tongue in cheek about it. So it's a fun watch experience.
It's legitimately hysterical. It would almost be in the running for anime of the season, Friedman, except you're watching Solo Leveling. Dude,
if Solo Leveling didn't have the level of animation, I'd probably say Hunter Girlfriends is more enjoyable to watch, but Solo Leveling's just been good this season.
Yeah. Anyway, let's finish up Weeb before we can talk about our very small lot watched and played.
So it's only been like 3 episodes since I bitched about MF Go Season 2. I speculated whether I want to watch Season 3. And here's the part where I'm kind of big mad. So they confirmed Season 3 won't be releasing until 2026. So Season 2 ends in 2024. The manga ends while this season is airing. They know exactly how much source material is left. They confirm a Season 3, but can't even get the schedule together. So they're going to go 2 years after the manga ends to now phone in a 3rd season. This just feels like bad IP management. Big mad.
You just give up.
You already said Season 2's bad.
It is, but I'm still chasing the initial D high, and I'm not getting it, and I'll keep chasing.
As someone who goes to these drift events every once in a while, I'm over it.
No, here's the thing, Freeman. You were literally just talking about how Pokemon took so many attempts to disappoint you before you finally stopped. Just get off.
You're right. I'm too forgiving.
You are. Just get off the ride now. You're not going to drift into the next good season.
But I need to know if he's going to beat a Lamborghini with his Toyota.
What's the next thing? Oh, right. I added this one. Let's talk about more disappointment.
Oh, I was going to say a joke, though.
Aw.
They're truly killing your love, Freeman. You need to stop.
They're killing my love.
Destroy you because you're killing
my love. Dude, I need an excuse to rewatch the first 4 stages of Initial D. Is what I actually need.
Freeman, if we can finish Zenshu and Grimgar, maybe that could be on our list.
You know, if you were able to put up with the animation of Gunbusters.
What me put up with? I was as into that as you were.
I'm saying this as a warning. Like, even I've gone back and watched Initial D Stage 1. It's very rough.
All right, you guys like to talk shit about me being like really picky about stuff. If I can enjoy the story, I don't care how it looks.
It's not you. It's not you. It's just how much animation has come from when this came out that I think the average
I would
person
just get a kick out of it.
All right, you know what? I'm not going to fight this. Yes, let's watch Initial D.
Okay, sorry, Freeman. You fought back too much. Now I want to find something else.
No, not to play Pokemon. No.
Damn.
Last thing on this list, I just wanted to throw it on here because it's always funny to shit on Shield Hero. But just today, they announced that Shield Hero Season 4 is coming this year. I don't know who the fuck still cares about this show.
So this got announced when Season 3 was airing.
Yes, but now we got confirmation it's coming this year, and we saw the promotional image. We didn't know it was this year. It's now Fumi sitting on a throne surrounded by his harem.
Oh my god, this was like end of 23 it was airing?
Yes, that's why I'm saying we finally got confirmation it's coming this year.
Yeah, all right. So unlike MF Ghost, I'm actually not watching this one. I
Good.
hated the last season of Rising of the Shield Hero. Like, there's
Please.
nothing I'm looking forward to in this anymore, so I'm skipping season 4.
Please get off this ride, Freeman.
I don't even acknowledge that as a real show anymore.
You sound like
Good.
Val when I talk about Yakuza.
It's
Damn
not
it.
a real game.
It's not a real game. This isn't a real show.
I don't know,
It's
man.
over.
It's just funny because like this is like we were talking about Star Wars falling from grace. Obviously, Shield Hero isn't the same, but I remember Shield Hero was really when Val and I were like in Ohio starting to watch like seasonal shows, and Shield Hero season 1 came out, and I was like, whoa, it was pretty good, and then it just.
I'm trying to remember. We're like watching both Shield Hero and to date this Grand Blue Dreaming at Colossal
Oh my
Con.
fucking god, that's crazy.
Yeah. To put a time frame on this.
And one of those is getting a season 4, and one of them is getting a season 2.
Dude, I can't wait for Grand Blue Dreaming. I'm pretty sure I talked about it on the podcast, but like we got character art working new voice actors. So like it's very real and it's not stuck in development hell.
No. We talked about it. We did.
Sorry, yeah, but that was it for anime news. There's nothing going on right now. We're getting through the season. We're
like a week away from a bunch of announcements for next season.
Yeah, we're approaching week 8 of the season, which means they're gonna start hyping. We're in the month before new stuff happens, so we're gonna start getting like new My Hero shit.
Yep.
Yeah. All right.
So we are over an hour and a half in already, which I think is actually cool that we had so much news that we got this far in for once, because normally we just blast through the news and get to this. We have very little to talk about here. We basically have one thing each. But the one anime to talk about, Freeman, we finally look off.
Blue Lock Season 2.
We finally finished it.
The roller coaster of an animation experience.
What a... what a frustrating show.
So Tyler, we've complained about Blue Lock on the podcast before, right?
We talked about the production issues at the start of the season when it was airing last season.
Yeah, but we slow rolled watching this, and we ended up watching the last 4 or 5 episodes in the last couple weeks.
Yeah, it was. Suddenly burst. Adola bursted.
Yeah. Was that an Adola burst? The final 2 episodes, though. The studio put their big boy pants on and got into work.
They remembered they were an actual studio.
There's like a 3-minute sequence where they decided, fuck it, this is full cinema, and they went ultra widescreen. They got the Demon Slayer animation team to guest feature.
Okay, let's not get too crazy, Freeman.
Sorry,
it wasn't that incredible compared to what it had been. Yes.
Yeah, compared to what it was 2 episodes ago, it looked like it was. No, this wasn't nothing like Demon Slayer, but it was wild for about 3 minutes.
They literally pulled the reverse Shield Hero, where it was like, you have a chance to pull me. I'm fading away, boys. It's the scene in every show where someone's drowning and then someone reaches into the water and pulls them back out. I'm like, I'm back on, baby. Season 3 could come and I'll instantly be watching that. This ended so hype. It was crazy. And it really sucks too, because the season, you could see how good it could have all been. There was hype moments in the show. It wasn't animated hype, but it was hype as fuck. The game of this season was the best game of soccer they've played in the show.
The hype moments were good, but the problem is that it was almost the first half of it felt bad. By the end of it, the stakes started feeling bigger. By the time what's his name, the dude with the pink wings, by the time he got subbed into the game, it started feeling a lot more real. But up till that point, it just felt like, what are we watching?
Well, I mean, that was the point. That was the escalation.
I know, but the thing is,
that's how this.
I understand that, but the first half when the stakes weren't that high, it was also animated so poorly. There was almost nothing for me to care about.
Yes,
everything good came all at once. So by the time it ended, we were all in the same hype mindset we were at the end of season 1 of Blue Lock. But I'm upset about the journey. I wish it was more of a complete
and that's why it scored
package.
Noticeably. I say noticeably.
Lower.
This went from a 9 to a 7, I think, from season 1 to 2. Mostly, and all of that 7 is weighed at the end of the season.
I was leaning towards a 6 until the last 2 episodes came out.
Yeah. Look, if you enjoyed Blue Lock season 1, this is a slideshow for most of the journey. But then they just cranked the juice, and Same thing. When we were sitting here, Freeman, I was sitting in my office chair and I was like gripping my armrest, like, holy shit, this is such hype soccer in season 1. That was season 2 ending all over again, man. I was sweating. I was loving the end of this season. It was so exciting. Some of those moments where someone just comes out of nowhere and they just fucking, like, that last shot. Man, it's so good.
There's not even just like, so the next to last episode had the part where Rin is just mad that his team is doing well, and he has this like 1 minute breakdown where he's like, fuck my team, I hate all of them, I want to fucking kill everyone. And the camera is doing straight up like VHS distortion, your TV's breaking effects. Like, they went ham on the tone. So I very much appreciate what they were going for.
He went real psycho mode.
The anti-sports anime.
Yeah, it's instead of Haikyuu being like, my team is so good, I'm so good, we're all so good, this guy's like, I fucking hate all of you. How dare you not make me look like I'm the best shit ever? I will literally stab you in the face. Oh, you're good at this? Boom, I'm gonna dribble right into your face and kill you. Like, it was so brutal. I loved it. It was great.
I gotta run for 30 seconds. You really know the next 2 topics are me. Can you stall for 30 seconds?
Well, we could just skip to Tyler.
Too bad.
Tyler, talk about your movie. That's.
I'll be right back.
I wish you had a good movie to watch, Tyler.
Dude, I wish I never saw this fucking movie. I wish this was never on my radar. I wish that Disney could just get fucked. In case you all couldn't guess, I watched the new movie Wish.
It's not new anymore, actually.
Oh, is it not? Well, it's new to me, okay?
I know, but I'm just
Anything
saying. It's
in the
Tyler,
last month.
no, Tyler. This is the sad truth. This is a 2023 movie. It didn't even come out last year.
Wait, is it really?
Yes.
Oh shit! I didn't even
'Cause
realize.
I'm on Letterboxd looking at your account to see if you had anything else.
Fuck. That's nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look at that! It came out. No. Oh wait. No. Oh, it said I watched it in 2025.
Yes, it didn't come out. It didn't come out a week, 11 days ago. It came out in 23.
Oh, wow! It isn't new. Never mind. Scratch that, everybody. It is not new. But it is new to me, and it doesn't matter because it's bad. Don't watch it.
Oh, really?
Dude, it's.
Let me just for clarity.
Yeah. Okay.
So just for clarification, there is not a lot of scores, relatively speaking, for a Disney movie. There is not a lot of scores on this movie on Letterboxd. It averages a 2.3 on Letterboxd. Tyler came in at a 2.
48.
I gave it a 2. And I gave it a star for Chris Pine.
Tyler, I think you will agree with this other 2-star review that shows up on the Letterboxd page. I will forget everything about this movie by tomorrow.
Dude, I read that same one to Michelle. I read that same exact one, and guess what? They weren't fucking wrong. They weren't wrong. This was Disney's, like, jerk-off movie. They literally referenced every Disney animation movie almost up to that point. Which is sad, because I read a trivia bit that apparently the staff who worked on this movie, they watched all the other movies, like Disney animation movies, as reference material. And I think I even mentioned that in my review, where it's like, wow, they took all the bad shit from all of those movies and decided to throw it into here. Got it. I also thought it was
Veilguard the movie.
It was, dude. They played this movie so safe.
Yeah.
Like they really didn't take any sort of chances. It felt like some really, like, cookie cutter, like HR, like, don't want to get, like, fined for anything, but we also need to, like, stick to corporate values and stuff like that. It was, dude, it was crazy.
This is what the James Bond 100-year movie is going to be.
That
emotional damage.
Actually,
yep.
That actually kind of fucked me up.
Yeah, I know. Tyler, it's only because I'm reading these reviews and I'm like, yep, this sounds like something Amazon would do.
Dude,
yeah, reading these reviews on Letterboxd is fucking funny.
Like, and that's the whole thing, right? The movie was supposed to be made to be like, oh, celebrating 100 years of Disney.
Tyler, here's a sentence you might agree with. I found on a review. One of the most frustratingly generic movies I've ever seen.
Yeah. You know what's even funny? I went into this movie not reading the synopsis, I think,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't even think it like mattered. But I saw oh yeah, like Tim looking at the poster, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um. Oh wait. Oh, it says it in here. Like, why would? All right. So they reveal the bad guy not only in the synopsis,
The poster.
but also in the poster.
Wait, is it supposed to be a surprise?
I don't think
Well,
so.
no, we can't say that because remember I just talked last week, the last podcast about how Red Hulk was apparently like if you watch the movie, Red Hulk is supposed to be a surprise, but every
Yeah.
marketing material shows Red Hulk.
Yeah, I don't think it's meant to be a surprise, but it easily could have been a
Well,
surprise.
that's clearly not because the guy has an evil,
Clearly
maniacal
not.
grin on his fucking face.
It's bad. Like, and it's funny too, because like, man, so Chris Pine plays the bad guy. And Chris
Man, I wish the
Pine,
star didn't look like a fucking emoji. Ugh.
I know, the star is supposed to be,
The star.
when you wish upon a star. Like, fuck off. And you know what? There's some promise to it, right? From the concept, it's like, oh, the evil wizard he gets power from everybody's wishes. But the thing is, everybody doesn't realize, like, they'll give their wishes freely, but then they don't know what their wish is because they gave it to the evil wizard. But the evil wizard every once in a while can grant a wish, right?
Mm.
So I feel like the concept was there. I think it was
Yeah.
actually a pretty good concept. I was like, oh, I could get behind this. But like everything, including the art style was so flat. Like Michelle was like, that was one of her biggest concerns, was like the art style just is not. It almost feels like, Tim, right? They were trying to do that like half CG, half 2D thing that
Arcane.
yeah, like Arcane or even like Spider-Verse, right? And it's just like
Trendsetters.
the trendsetters, and it doesn't even hold a candle.
Oh my god.
Like, not
you're
even
saying
in the
that I'm not looking good?
slightest. Huh?
And they're just not looking good at all.
Yeah, it just doesn't look good. Like,
It's boring.
it looks boring. Like, if you look at
This
like,
movie looks
whereas
like AI.
Spider-Verse,
Context.
it looks like AI. Like Spider-Verse, right? They have very vibrant colors,
Mm-hmm.
and so does Arcane, but like you get like more shadow, you get a lot of depth.
Yeah.
With Arcane, it's got its own, and like if you were to show me both of them, they both have their own style, like distinctly different styles.
What's the matter with the textures in this movie?
That's what I'm saying. It feels like nothing has depth.
Everything's so flat.
Yeah, it's I think a lot of it is the lighting and just the art style. It's just not. It felt like zero effort went into this movie.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. There's this scene where she's standing in this room and there's all these glowing orbs around her. And this could have been the scene where you show off your dynamic lighting engine and everything in the room is lit exactly the same.
Yep.
I forget, Tyler. Did you watch last Wild Robot? Or no,
I
Freeman.
did.
Freeman, did you?
Yeah, we all did.
I keep thinking of that scene where she touches the tree and the butterflies go everywhere.
Oh, yeah. Like, I don't think the story was great, but I thought it, like, that was a good move. Like, the animation was good. That scene especially was fantastic.
It was a very pretty movie.
Yeah. Very, like, man, I'm ready for DreamWorks to come back. But they need to get rid of this whole How to Train Your Dragon live action shit.
Look, man, once Shrek 5 comes out,
Oh,
we're in a new era.
We're in a new era. The years stop coming and they don't stop coming, and they don't stop coming, and they don't stop coming. Freeman.
All right, so let's talk about the weird
Severance Season 2 isn't even finished. Why
It's
are we
not,
talking about
but
this?
we both started it since the last time only I started it since the last time we recorded. Sorry, I threw it on here because it's the only show I started. We don't have to have this discussion because we keep talking about it week to week, but holy shit.
I mean, I'm down to talk about it. It's just fucking weird.
Yes, Severance Season 2 is weird. So, half my friend group who from the first watch didn't want to follow through on Season 2 because they said, much like another show we watched, actually, Tyler, you watched, much like Evil, They didn't like the idea that Evil does a lot to make you ask questions, then proceeds to just not answer anything it asks of the viewer. And they enjoyed it for Evil because Evil had very self-contained plot lines in certain episodes.
Yeah.
But with Severance, it felt like every episode in season 1 was just meant to make you ask questions, and we weren't sure if the payoff was coming. So for half my friend group, they're like, you guys watch season 2, let us know if they start answering questions, and we'll come back and watch if they do. And I'm 4 episodes in, and I already told them right now, I'm like, you might want to just stay away for a while. Because every episode, they just keep making me ask, like, what the fuck is going on every week.
And we get nothing. Unlike Evil, where we do get stuff.
Yeah, they do eventually circle back to some of these plot lines to close them.
Yeah.
But
yeah. But that's what I mean. Like, we get nothing in Severance. They literally give us fucking nothing.
The only thing I'll give it this season is I made the joke about it when the first season was airing about how, because like when that was when the whole the Backrooms meme was blowing up about like this is the live action adaptation of the Backrooms, and then they got to the episode where it's like we're gonna go to the goat room, but there's this small tunnel that leads to a bigger room, and I'm like this is 100% the live action adaptation of Backrooms here, where people are like I don't know where this leads to, but I'm gonna just keep following these weird office cubes until I get somewhere.
Yeah,
so,
I just want to understand.
The worst part is like, so almost every show has started doing this like the behind the episode bit at the end, and every week it's just Ben Stiller talking about how he wants to confuse the viewer, and I'm like, someone needs to reel this guy in. He's getting out of hand.
I think honestly the only thing that keeps people from turning it off is like I want to say like the atmosphere is good, the talent is good. Like the individual parts that has nothing to do with the plot are really good. But yeah, like if just one of those things was not good, I probably would just like DNF this show.
Whoa.
I mean, I watch the show more because I love the moral conundrum of art is being severed an ethical issue. But then, like, I'll also see just, like, random social media creators. Like, the guy who does Cyanide and Happiness. He tweeted today, like, imagine if your bathroom door was a severed door and he was just exclusively responsible for shitting, and that was their entire life. And, yes, it's a shit post, but it's got people asking, like, cool psychological questions about the idea of a side of your brain has no memory of what the other side does.
Yeah, or memory of what the other side is doing. I like that, too.
Interesting. Like,
I think it's cool.
If the show wasn't interesting, I wouldn't be willing to put up with it. Like, I want to know the answers to the questions they're asking. I'm just mad about how much they're asking questions.
Yeah, like it's hard to keep track of like all this other shit, because like okay, you're just gonna keep asking questions, like you said, and like, but we're not gonna get anything. And that I guess that's where it is bugging me a bit.
I'm starting to get concerned they're just doing weird shit for the sake of being weird. Like in the third episode, like Milchick goes to his office and the board presents him with these paintings of the founder, but they're like, we want it to be more so you could see yourself in the founder. So they just gave him versions of the founder where his skin is black. And I was just like, is this a real plot line they're gonna go down, or are they just doing this to make you feel like unnerved about this organization?
No, so you get an idea of something with Milchick in I think, because did I watch the 5th episode?
Okay, good. I'm glad there's some type of payoff for some of this.
Oh yeah, so like he does acknowledge that painting.
Okay.
So there is some payoff in this next episode. You get an idea. So maybe you might catch something that I didn't or something like that, but like it was acknowledged.
Gotcha. Also,
Yeah.
real quick, we debunked the whole things in the 70s theory because several of the corporate people are shown holding like flip phone style phones at some point or another. Yeah, so most of my theories are dead.
It's fine. There are other things.
Yeah, there's no point in theorizing because week to week they just blow the show out every time. All right, enough being negative.
Glad I was reading Reddit, not listening, because I do want to watch the show eventually.
Well, all right. Good thing we were being intentionally vague about some of the weirder stuff this season. All All right, last thing I'm going to talk about. I'm not done with it. I am at, you know how every JRPG has that one save point where it's like, this is the point of no return. You can't come back once you leave this spot, and then it's just the final boss fight.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at Refantazio. So I have just the final boss left. I was telling Tim before we started recording, I was going to do it tonight, and then I realized there's a gold trophy for. It's effectively completing the sphere grid for only one character. I had to put into Final Fantasy X terms. So I was like, you know what? I'm not going to go back and do this after beating the boss. Let me just make the main character busted strong, and then just go beat this boss. So in terms of percent complete, my main character is 97. I got to hit 100, and then I can do the final boss. So I will have this complete within the next 2 days. So I'm going to give my quick little short Refantazio review. I'm going to say this was a very good game. This is very much, if someone told me this was Persona 6, I'd believe them. It's got everything that Persona 5 needed to be good, while dropping the Japanese plotline and saying we want to tell a traditional fantasy story, but at the same time also like tie some degree of politics into it. Overall, I liked it. They're very heavy-handed with the whole racial disputes. I'm not sure how I want to say this. All in all, very good game. I think if someone had never played Persona before and they said, should I jump into this? I think it's perfectly fine to do. In terms of like life sim, managing your time, like optimizing your run, this game was super forgiving. And I think that someone who's not following a guide could probably 100% it by accident. So I definitely recommend Refantazio to every JRPG fan, regardless of whether you played Persona or not.
Nice.
Not sure I want to give it a 10 out of 10 because it has, like, in terms of games, it has all the same problems that normal Shin Megami Tensei games have, where it's just like a lot of times they'll just pull bullshit out of nowhere at you. There's one part of the game that's it's blowing up online because it's a little bit of a problem. They very clearly had to cut a dungeon from the game because the game was getting too long. So they just have you go to this destination. You only have a boss fight, but from before that boss fight happens, you've just finished a dungeon. You just finished a boss. There's like an hour of cutscenes, and then you go to fight this other boss.
Yeah, I heard that there's like a spot where you can like see the other dungeon like right there. Or
yeah,
not
like
literally,
you go to this
but
destination, you fight outside of it. But the problem is because there's no dungeon, there's no time between the last major plot point and this one for you to really level up your characters or anything. So unless you are configured to do this boss fight, it can be a huge pain in the ass. I, on the other hand, was prepared for it, so I didn't even notice the issue. But when other people brought up online, like, hey, there's no gap between the last boss fight and this one, like, what do I do if my party's wrong? And I was like, they have a point. Like, you might soft lock yourself here. So, actual problem with the game. I hope they figure out some way to deal with it. I really doubt they are because there hasn't been any post-game patches or releases or anything for this. Kind of contrary to what we were talking about when we did Monster Hunter Wilds. This game released in just a complete state, and that's just how it is. The DLC is just costume swaps to straight up, like, I want my characters in the Persona 4 costumes. That's your DLC. Go buy that if you want. Otherwise, there's nothing else for sale. So overall, I very much supported the way Atlas did this release. I really hope that they said they wanted this to be like their new third pillar. So like they have Shin Megami Tensei, they have Persona, and they're like, we kind of want Refantazio to be the third one.
jeez.
And if they want to do just taking game mechanics or engines from systems from their other games and just putting them into a different fantasy setting that's not bound to what they're doing with the other franchises, I'm all for it. Some of the storytelling was really creative. I still have to see the actual last cutscene to see if there's another major twist, but the way they handled twists in this game, I think it was a lot better than how they did them in like Persona 5. So overall, really love this game. I'm not gonna New Game Plus it, but it's tempting.
Mm-hmm.
I'll wait for Refantazio Royal to come out.
Oh my gosh. Well, with that, we actually kept it under 2 hours.
Ooh.
Good job, boys. Now
We
Tyler
did
can go
it.
to bed. But until next time, definitely no podcast in 2 weeks. I will be traveling for work. So 3 weeks at the soonest. I know the 20 people who listen to this maybe will be sad, but we'll be back. We got to hit 200 at least. We're almost there. Yep. But until next time, my name is Timpedia.
I'm Friedman.
Only just Tyler.
And we'll catch you guys next time. Thanks for listening.